What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another blind tasting episode of Drinking Through a Mask. This is wine number 3, and it's a good one. I kind of rambled on in the intro of the last video with 3 really big tips for blind tasting, so I'll keep it short here, but check that video out if you missed it. Today's tip will be simple. Let the wine come to you. Listen to the wine. Don't force a square peg into a round hole. However you'd like to say it, relax, let your nose and your palate tell your brain what's going on in the wine, and don't allow your brain to overthink the information. But hey, I want to hear from you. Hit me up in the comments about what maybe you thought the wine was. How can I make these videos better for you? Should I do a live blind tasting video? Any questions at all? Don't forget, we are using 2 awesome sources of wine for these videos: Master of the World blind tasting kits and FLX Provisions. You know the drill. Smash that like button if you're enjoying this video. It's the best way to show your support. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button too so you don't miss anything else. Help me get to 150 subscribers. That's the next big goal. Join the team. Okay, intro over. Here's wine number 3.
High five bone box, pretty girl in Bobby socks. After party in a hotel room, pretty soon there will be no moon. Stumble home in the pouring rain, let the water ease my worried brain.
Wine number 3 is a red wine. It is free of gas, it is free of flocculation, it is completely opaque, I cannot see anything through it. Day bright, color is purple of high intensity with a purple magenta rim. Viscosity medium plus, and the staining is noticeable. I think you guys can see that there. All right, the wine is sound on the palate. The wine is of high aromatic intensity. The wine smells youthful. Fruit and the fruit condition. Really driven by black fruits, blackberry, bramble, black raspberry, also some red raspberries, some red cherry. Pretty ripe, not like super concentrated and jammy, but maybe a little bit. Pretty ready to go fruit there. There's also like a really dark like plum note inside the flesh of the plum. All right, flowers. Big purple flower, violets. Not as pretty as hibiscus, not quite as stinky as lilies, but we're kind of getting into that area. But the flowers are definitely noticeable. Herbs, spices, and vegetal. Definitely a lot of cut grass, chervil, lemongrass, marjoram, and mint. And vegetables for sure. We got to talk about some green things in this wine right here. We're going to talk about green peppers. That grassiness goes into it as well. Definitely like a broccoli, asparagus thing. There is probably some oak to talk about here. There's a little bit of like a toasty, dried vanilla bean, baking spice, cinnamon thing going on. It's not like overly hitting the wine, but I think there is probably a little bit of new French oak on the wine here. The complexity is medium plus. All right, the wine is sound on the palate. The wine is dry. The acid level is medium plus. The alcohol level is medium plus. It could be a little higher than that. The body of the wine is medium plus as well. The tannins are, overall, I would call them medium, on the high side of medium, but we'll say medium. They're pretty fine, rather rustic feeling. The wine's in balance. The length is medium plus. The flavor intensity is high. And the complexity is medium plus. A lot of same fruit notes, really, really ripe, dark fruits, blackberry, black raspberry, plum, probably a little bit of like a blueberry, boysenberry thing going on here as well. And some, red cherries, raspberry too. Again, ripe, fleshy, a little bit of like the skins as well. Flowers still big time, lilies, violets, gardenia kind of thing going on, but really, really powerful on the flowers. The herbs and the spices, definitely like those cooking herbs, like marjoram, that like dried oregano thing. Definitely would throw some green onions in there, green peppers for days. The earthiness, I don't think I talked about that on the nose either. Not a ton. Definitely like a rocky, stony minerality. The oak, I think it's there. I think there's a touch of new French oak on the wine. I think it's mostly used oak. It's got a real woodsy, char toast. It's not over the top in the vanilla and stuff like that you would get from new oak, but I definitely think that there is some influence of a barrel on this wine. On the palate, it's a little bit more, there's a little bit more of the mushroom, a little bit more of like a meaty kind of note to it. And I think the wine is youthful, quite youthful, actually. So I think this wine is one of two varieties. So pre-conclusion, I think this could be a Cabernet Franc, and I also think this could be a Carmenere. And that's tough because one is going to be from the Old World. If it's Cabernet Franc, it's probably from the Loire. And if it is from the New World, if it's Carmenere, it should be from the New World, from Chile. So I think that with the big time color concentration on it, those really big green and floral notes for sure. Both would definitely have green notes, but I think the floral notes are kind of speaking a little louder. So, and the alcohol is a little bit high, so that would make sense for a New World wine. So let's final conclusion this at a 2017 Carmenere from Chile, from the Maipo region of the Central Valley, medium plus quality. So it may have seemed like I had a pretty easy tasting there, but Carmenere gives me fits for a couple reasons. Number one, I don't think about it very often. That's why this list helps. And it's been a bad habit of mine in the past to jump right to something like Chinon or another Loire Cabernet Franc when I smell those really big green vegetable notes in a wine. I even almost talked myself out of it here, but I took a second to stop and focus on what was really speaking in the wine. That big purple color, the really noticeable floral aromatics, and that bit of oak on it. So what was the wine? It was Carmenere, indeed. 2018 Viña Silva Carmenere from the Colchagua Valley of Chile. Not the Maipo Valley, as I said, which, now that I think about it, is probably a better conclusion for a Cabernet Sauvignon, as there's a lot more Carmenere coming out of Colchagua, but pretty close nonetheless. Thank you all for watching this video. Please hit me up if you have any questions, and don't forget to show your support and smash that like button for me. And subscribe so you don't miss the next video. I hope everyone is safe and healthy out there. Thanks again for watching.